Alka will not be around, so she's stuck somewhere. So, Hema, would you like to read?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
There synopsis.
I think Summer reads the synopsis.
Yes, Summer reads the synopsis. Thomas, are you there?
Yeah.
Perfect. We're good to start.
Okay. One way to gather knowledge is through science, and the other is through the scientific yoga methods. Science uses awareness in all its shades, from idiocy to intuition, to gather knowledge, and with this, we cannot go more than skin deep. Awareness, yeah.
The two ways to gather knowledge. One is attention goes out and one attention goes in. Right? When attention goes out, it is science. When attention goes in, it is self-knowledge. Right? So science uses attention going out. That is awareness in all its shades. Right? But when attention goes in together with awareness, there is the touch of consciousness. Yeah.
Awareness, complete awareness of the three universes of existence, is merely total awareness. It is not cosmic consciousness, and it cannot lead to consciousness, for it cannot ever be transmuted or transformed into consciousness.
Right.
So can knowledge, methods, weapons, and instruments of existence pierce the ring past naught that encircles existence to enable us to enter creation.
Right. So all our, what you call instruments cannot go beyond the ring past naught.
By gathering knowledge or by increasing awareness, there is no ultimate hope or way to know the truth.
Yeah. So in what you call awareness, there is gathering of knowledge through an instrument, whether the instrument is a, what you call, gross instrument outside, which is an extension of the senses, or a subtle instrument inside man, buddhi, ahankar, right? So there is always an instrument involved which records the knowledge, which takes the knowledge. Whilst in consciousness, there is knowing without any instrument. There is just the knowing because of the state itself. It is not a knowing as an activity. It is not a knowing as a action. It is just the very state of consciousness is all knowing, right? So there's a difference between the so knowing with instrument and knowing without instrument, knowing with memory, knowing without memory. Yeah.
Attention will be a part of awareness, knowing through awareness.
Attention is in both. Awareness of the outside is attention going outside, and attention or awareness of what is in the field of consciousness is attention going inside.
Universal divine mind itself is a product of existence and cannot pierce the ring past naught and enter creation. Where and what are the weapons or instruments with which we shall hope to pierce the ring past naught, the great divide?
How do you go through the ring past naught? Which instruments? What can be used over here to go through the ring past naught?
An open mind is needed, one that is ready and prepared to welcome its own disintegration in a sincere endeavor to achieve the breakthrough.
Yeah, so to go through ring past naught is Ichha Mrityu. You have to be ready to die.
We have some vague idea of God, and all these are mere concepts that have originated in Swaha, the universe of original concepts, and have come down with the substages.
So Swaha is the universe of original concepts, right? So whenever we have an original concept, right, and that is, or we can, in place of the word concept, put the word idea, then that is come from the Swahalok. Yeah.
Some talk about the reincarnation of God aspect, some speak of hidden knowledge and wisdom, some talk of virtue and vice, some of reward and punishment, heaven or hell, and a supposed day of judgment. Some bring in karma or causation, the reap as you sow theory. All such theories are fragmentary and are good for fragmentary achievements, but not for a final stupendous breakthrough, the final leap.
Right. So in our knowledge, there are two states, states of no knowledge and knowledge, right? So it is still a part of duality, whilst knowing without duality, that is a state of consciousness. Yeah.
Has joined. Alka?
Yes,
Good day.
hi.
May I ask a question, please?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Pranam, Gurudev.
Ah,
So this original thought, the thought which comes from Swahalug, you say it's original.
right.
So I'm thinking that there is no such thing as original, even if it's in the Swahalug. Isn't it coming from elsewhere? Therefore, it's not original.
No, I'm not getting it. You'll have to talk a little slowly. Yeah.
Okay, so we've read that from Swahalok, whatever comes, it's original. Is that correct? I thought that's what we read.
Concepts are formed in the Swahalok. Original concepts are formed in Swahalok.
But beyond Swahalok, there's other loks as well. Is there no descent from the other loks? Like
now he's talking about piercing the mahakal and going beyond. So beyond are three:
right.
Jana, Tapa, and Satyam.
Absolutely. So
Right.
would that concept not have come through there to Swahalok and therefore not be original in Swahalok?
No, I'm not getting it.
So what she's saying is that
Huh?
if there are higher lokas than Swahalok,
Yeah.
how can something original be from Swahalok? Would it not have descended from something higher?
Correct.
Would it not have descended from something higher?
Mhm.
And how can something original be created in Swahalok if there are higher lokas?
Okay. So the concept, the idea is created in
Thank you.
Swahalok.
Right.
Now, what goes into the making of that original idea? I'm asking you.
What goes into the making of that idea?
There's the energy of
Creativity, a thought process. Yes.
No, thought process will be much low. After the idea, the thought process starts. So thought process will be a part of Bhuvalok, and later on when you say the thought outside, it will be Bhulok.
Okay.
So
Got you.
Bhulok is you set the thought outside, right?
Right.
Bhuvalok is your having all sorts of thoughts about one idea.
Right.
That original idea was created in Swahalok. Now, what went into the making of that original idea?
So my thought is that it's still coming from higher source. Is that
Definitely,
not a
yes.
possibility?
So that is the energy of creativity that comes from Janalo. Jana means to create, to give birth to.
Okay. So then it's not original then in Swahalok. Is that correct?
The concept is original in Swahalok. The energies which go into making the concept come from somewhere else.
Okay, I got you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Gurudev. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bhavya, we have to start from the previous paragraph. And if such Yeah, from here.
And sir, if
Yeah, please.
continuing to the question,
Yeah.
so the concepts means all the major discoveries, or it also includes intuition also, the basic concepts.
Yeah.
What forms these? What is the definition of these concepts? The discoveries, the intuition.
Yeah. So when you conceive something, right? You conceive something. So the child has been conceived in the mother's womb, right? So there is a point of conception. Right? Now, in the point of conception, go through two energies, mother and father, both are creative energies, right? So those creation comes from Janalok. Jana Tapa Satyam is creation, right? So creation comes from Janalok. But the concept once formed in the mother's womb is in the Swahalok. The first master cell is in the Swahalok. Now that first master cell, when it is formed in Swahalok, is there, if there is an addition of memory, then it is not original. Then it is not formed in Swahalok, then it is formed in Bhuvalok. I don't know if so if that concept was formed without the addition of memory, then it is formed in Swahalok. Right? So I conceive the building of a house, but that is in Bhuvalok because I'm using everything from memory. Right? But I'll just give you something that I've been working on Omkar for the past 1 week. Right? And suddenly I saw a difference in two things. Is that when we write the Omkar, we write it with Chandra Bindu. Right? When you write the Omkar, you write it with Chandra Bindu. Right? But when we say the Omkar, we are saying it with Anuswara. There is only Bindu, there is no Chandra. So what is the secret between saying the Omkar and writing the Omkar? Why has that one half line come in between? Can you understand? When I say Om, it is Anuswara. Right? It is not Chandra Bindu. It is not Makar. It is Nakar. You get what I'm trying to say? So between the saying of Omkar and the writing of Omkar, right? So now, so this concept comes from Swahalok because nobody has talked about it. There is no memory about it, right? Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Now the idea has come to me, but I'm still looking for the answer. Can you get what I'm trying to? Got it? Yeah. So there is a concept lying somewhere. Now that concept has to be created. It will be created through energy of creativity. That is Janalok. Right? But you have to wait for the answer to come. The answer has not yet come. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Right? So, and this is a big thing. Right? So when Patanjali is talking about Tasya Vachakaha Pranava, right? That Ishvara, when he speaks, it is Pranava. And if you take Pranava as Omkar, then saying the Omkar and writing the Omkar are two different things. Right? So what is the secret between the two? What is the secret? So last whole week I've been thinking about this only. I've not got an answer as yet. What I'm trying to say is that somewhere in that lies a deeper secret of the Omkar, which is an original concept which nobody has written about till now. Thousands and thousands of people have written about Omkar. But if that comes down, it will come down without memory. It is pure Shruti. Pure Shruti.
Anka, will you continue reading?
Yes, Himaben, I can continue. Okay. And if such divine intervention from a deeper down source, from Satyam, the Absolute, is necessary to help us and the whole of existence, along with the creation out of the great failure, we, the divine fragments, should be ashamed.
Yeah. The great failure of not going through ring pass not. Right.
Shame be on our cosmic consciousness and on our divine will. Why be divine fragments at all? Be content to be mere body, mind, and senses. But the divine fragments are not crying out. The individual mind is crying out. It has failed.
So unless the individual mind dissolves into the universal mind, you won't be able to go beyond ring pass not.
We are all mixed up in our thinking and in our beliefs.
Yes.
So please, for your God's sake, the God you expect to intervene with justice and mercy, with charity and compassion, the God whom you expect to do the impossible, give up such kindergarten thoughts.
Right.
Be an adult emotionally and mentally, face your own problems, and search for the proper instrument or weapon with which you can accomplish Satori, the final breakthrough.
So the final breakthrough is Satori, the glimpse of the divine, the first glimpse of the divine, Satori.
But the crossing of ring pass not.
Huh?
Crossing the mahakal.
Crossing the mahakal, he calls it as Satori. Satori is a whiskey also. Right. Okay. Maybe that can take us beyond ring pass not. We don't know.
Okay, Bhavya, you'll have to scroll up a little bit. In the Gita, this quest and search is stated to be for a warrior of a class. We need warriors of a class better than Arjuna, who will not despair, faint, or fail, nor hesitate when the battle begins, and in self-justification profess wisdom, as many of us do.
Right.
Sanjay said,
only a Kshatriya can go through the ring pass lot. Right? And he says, you have to be a better Kshatriya than Arjuna. Huh? Okay.
Kshatriya in what sense?
Huh?
Kshatriya in what sense?
Warrior. He's saying only a warrior can go.
Warrior like attitude.
Gurudev, has there been anyone that has pierced it and come back to say what that experience or requirement was? Like in my mind, it's almost as though they're going through those people that walk through fire or something. So there must be quite a level of experience or intensity of experience to go through that particular phase to end up victorious on the or to pass through it and be successful on the other side of it. Have you had anyone tell you any different or anything more?
Well, the very fact that he can write all this
Yes.
means he's definitely seeing it from far away or something. Right?
Is there any elaboration on that, perhaps?
Like?
The detail of it, of piercing it,
No,
for that particular individual.
In that direction, no?
Oh, okay.
I think he's taking us. Is he taking us?
Yes,
in that? Yeah, he's taking us in that direction.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
think.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Right. Like you, when you put this book, it's just as if he's seeing the movie and he's writing it down. Right. So,
Very clearly.
okay.
Sanjay said, having spoken thus, having professed wisdom, in the midst of the armies, Arjuna sank on the seat of the chariot, casting away his bow and arrow, heartbroken with grief.
Right.
Such are not true warriors. Let us not such be the state of disciples.
Yeah.
We are sure divine fragments. We are sure divine fragments are great warriors.
Hmm.
They do not flinch in the face of any conditionings or odds. And you and I and the common man in the street are all divine fragments existing under a particular conditioning.
They do not flinch in the face of any conditionings or odds. That is the divine fragment.
As divine fragments, we have never cried, nor shall we ever. Nor are these divine fragments backing out after having accepted the rules of the game and entered existence willingly.
Right.
It is the mind that is perplexed and cries out, for we are divine fragments and are witnesses only.
Right. So if we are crying, it's the mind crying. Right.
Or are we all really convinced that we are not these divine fragments, but rather this lamentable body and mind, little chunks of body and brain? If so, we shall leave you to your dream state and wait for you to wake up someday. But we do want that you wake up and fight, smile, and be free.
Right.
Some talk of sin and the fall of man. What is sin and which fall? And besides, is it a sin to fall?
Go ahead.
Do we not remember? True glory lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall.
So this is
This
the character
is
of a warrior. Yeah.
This is the worth of a true warrior. A true, brave warrior knows the extent of danger, understands fear, but overcomes it.
Yeah.
Divine fragments are such true warriors. Nothing, no type of conditioning can awe them and ought not to awe them or make them forget and cry and pray for divine intervention.
Yeah.
You, dear friend, are only fooled by your mind.
Exactly. Because the mind is memory also. And memory is what you call the ring pass now. So once the mind goes, the memory goes, and then you're already beyond the ring pass now. And the divine fragment. What remains is the divine fragment, which is beyond ring pass now.
If this be so, then how are divine fragments complete and immortal? They need nothing. So why such meaningless tales of woe? Why? Wake up and smile and go ahead.
Yeah.
Let not your mind make a mess of everything anymore. Give
Yeah.
the reins of everything you have in the safe hands of the charioteer, the divine fragment.
So Krishna is the divine fragment, the charioteer. And Arjuna is the mind who's crying out loudly and has thrown away the bow and arrow. Right.
If only existence were to cease to exist in us, then maybe we will be able to cease existing in
That's it.
existence.
Yeah. So he's given you the key over here. This is the Very beautifully said. Very, very beautifully said. If only existence were to cease to exist in us, then may we be able to cease existing in existence. Then we are beyond existence at that very moment. The mind is created out of universal mind. And if the mind dissolves back into universal mind, then there is no more existence. We are already beyond. What remains is beyond existence, the divine fragment.
Gurudev, is this about surrender
Hmm?
or not? Is this about surrender where you dissolve? Or is it not surrender?
Yeah, surrender.
Is that what it
Surrender.
means?
uh,
Okay.
It's like this, the word for surrender in the Yoga Sutra is Ishwar Pranidhana, right? Pra means to go forward. Ni means to put down, and dhan means your attention. So our attention is stuck all over the place, right? From my material possessions to my emotional attachments to everything, my thoughts and my knowledge and everything. Now, if I can take all that attention and take it inwards towards that, what do you call, then slowly that heap of attention in me, which increases because I keep on adding attention to it. And that attention I extract from Bhu Bhuva Swaha, right? Then that attention inside it becomes Ishwar. It controls me. It starts pulling me inside, like the gravity of the earth pulls me down. Now that attention which I've collected in a big heap inside, the gravity of that heap pulls me inside. That is called grace, right? And in that the mind dissolves. So you have to collect attention and put it inside. And that attention, after becoming a heap, it starts controlling, and that controlling factor is God, Ishwara.
Awesome. Thank you.
When we talk from the point of view of forces in the universe, which forces are we talking about? Where is the link with any such force that has penetrated existence and passed through the ring pass knot?
Yes. So all forces are on this side of the ring pass knot.
Only in
And if you can separate from the forces and observe the forces, then you can go beyond ring pass knot. What do you say?
Bhu Aswa. Forces are only in Bhu Aswa.
So, yeah.
Trigunatik.
Try and search for this something. Put your finger on it, and you have found the gold mine you have been searching for.
Yeah.
But even if all attempts fail, smile and forge ahead.
Even if you can't find that something, right? But that something is always there. That something is always there. It's one of my favorite songs. Something, right? Something in the way she moves fills me like no other love. Right.
And have we ever tried to learn what life is? Life is itself a product of existence and has to obey the laws of existence. So it cannot go beyond existence. It cannot penetrate the ring pass knot.
Right. It is that which observes life which can penetrate the ring pass knot. That which is the witness to life, right? And we should add over here death also, to life and death also, because death is life. Yeah.
So life is unable to help us, for it is not needed in creation. For without life, there is immortality.
It's a very difficult word, immortality, right? So because when we have a concept of immortality, it is eternal life. And this immortality which he is talking about is not eternal life. He's talking about something else.
And this quality he renders to only the divine fragment.
Divine fragment.
And life is rendered to all the three bodies.
Right.
Three bodies have life.
And immortality is with the
immortality
divine fragment.
Divine fragment.
Huh?
Okay.
Right.
If you do not meet a transcendental teacher, you will have swallowed Mahayana medicine in vain.
Right. So the transcendental teacher, unless you meet the transcendental teacher. Hmm. Yeah.
What is Mahayana medicine?
Huh?
Mahayana medicine?
Mahayana medicine. The Mahayana is a Buddhist term for the big body or something, right? You have swallowed the Mahayana medicine in vain. Hmm. Yeah. He's taken this quotation from somewhere, it seems, because it is in inverted commas. Can you just Google it? Whose quotation is that?
Translation.
Yeah, it's not there. Let's go ahead here.
It calls for honesty of purpose, integrity of mind, and much else.
Mhm.
Unable to grasp God's essence, we seek help in words, in names, in figures, in animal forms, in trees, in summits, and in sources.
So we seek
Perhaps,
help everywhere except the transcendental teacher. Right. Yeah.
perhaps in anything and everything else, but in our true self,
Self. Yes. Right. We don't look for the transcendental teacher. Hmm. Hmm.
the divine fragment.
Hmm.
But why forget that everything is possible with ourself, the
Right.
divine
Hmm.
fragment? Remote yet near, utterly aged yet alone, he sits within the temple's inner shrine, with folded hands and countenance divine,
Wow.
omniscient, inscrutable, unknown.
Right. But who would dare to believe this? He's remote yet near. He's the nearest thing to us, but still the most far away.
Blavatsky बोला क्या?
He, utterly aged, yes. कदाच Blavatsky हो
Blavatsky
सके.
हो,
Yeah,
okay.
utterly aged. He has been with us since the beginning of time. Huh?
No, sure.
Yet alone. He sits within the temple's inner shrine with folded hands and countenance, divine, omniscient, inscrutable, unknown. But who would dare to believe this? So everything we are searching for outside in the form, animal forms, in trees and summits and sources and words and figures and etc., is already lying within us, but we don't realize it. Who would believe this?
They are not searching with six senses. They are searching with only five senses.
Okay.
Gurudev, the inner shrine, is that now in your heart, or is that in your brain, in the pineal gland, or where is this inner shrine?
Inner shrine, yes. We can call, he sits within the Bindu chakra, right? But what do you call? In the daytime, his, what do you call? His light, or what we call the soul, comes and sits in the heart, right? So first let us look for him within the heart, right? And then let us look for him within the shrine, right?
This is why our minds accept thoughts like immaculate conception, which is prevalent in many faiths besides the Christian faith, where the natural function of sex is considered a sin. And wherever our minds wish to give the status of God to a newborn, whether be he Jesus or Gotham, This
Right.
is why our minds accept thoughts like immaculate conception,
Right.
which is the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, the Virgin Mary. I mean, it's a riddle. The Virgin Mary. Some say that Joseph was a, what do you call? He was a member of a group of esoteric group called the Essenes. And the Essenes, they had this knack of conception without entering into sex. And what do you call? And that is how Jesus was born. I mean, he learned that from there, and that is how Jesus is born. That is one of the explanations given. Okay. Right. Good, good.
And when we want to make the impossible possible,
Hmm.
we rely on the statement, with God, everything is possible.
Yeah, so I mean, he's saying it's simple fact that if the child is born, there must have been sex. But of course, with God, everything is possible, and that is why he was born without sex, and that is immaculate. But this is childishness, what he's saying. Yeah.
These are signs and symptoms of minds that have not grown up and refuse to grow up.
Right. Hmm.
Further, it is not enough to pierce the ring pass knot and reach there. For to reach there and explore it would mean that one would know everything about existence, but nothing still about creation.
Right. Hmm. So if we pass the ring pass knot, but this, what kind of knowing would that be? Because you have to leave all memory behind. Memory is the ring pass knot, right? So what kind of knowing would that be? Where he says, you know everything about existence, but still nothing about creation, right? It's a question over there. What?
One can then only become a Buddha, the
Hmm.
all-knowing.
Right.
So maybe there's a cue about the knowing in this sentence.
Right. So knowing about something and knowing just not, like he's talking about knowing in existence. He's going to talk of the Akashic records and all that. Right. Let's just go through that. Yeah.
But to transcend existence,
Hmm.
one must also transcend this great divide,
Right.
this region of Akashic records,
Oh.
and it is many times more difficult to surmount the pull of gravitation
Hmm.
and the fascination of mahakal than of all three universes of existence put together.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the three universes, there was so much of fascination, but the fascination of Mahakal. Supposing we were to suddenly enter a huge library where all the secrets of existence were there in one book after the other, we would hardly put one down and start touching the other and the third one and go on, and it would be so fascinating. But he's saying you have to leave all that and go ahead.
Because one likes to remain a Buddha and roam the ring past not.
Yes. So he's saying Buddha is still roaming around in ring pass, no? Huh? Is he saying
It's the
that?
same thing. Because he somewhere else also he said the same statement.
Right.
And Buddha is also waiting for the last person to cross the mahakal.
Mahakal.
Yeah.
In the reference of Karuna.
In the reference of karma.
Karuna.
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 He gave the example of Karuna, Buddha's Karuna.
Okay. I asked him one day and he said that you don't think that Buddha has gone very far. He's in metric and we are in the 5th grade or something. Bolo.
Okay, I'll continue.
Yeah.
For it seems the ultimate for a human being, and one may mistake it for nirvana, since mind and memory are held there as if in deep freeze.
Please. So you're in that huge space of mahakal. You have access to all memory. You have access to all knowledge, right? And you are no longer stuck in the conditionings of individual mind. You have all the powers of universal mind, right? And you may just think this is nirvana. You've achieved it. And you may just go for lives and lives round and round over there.
Just as to many godmen of our days, psychic powers seem the ultimate. To some, being a Buddha would seem to be the ultimate.
Yeah. But right, so the all-knowing Buddha is taking what you call jogging in mahakal round and round, right? But for us, it seems to be the ultimate state, but he's saying it's not the ultimate state.
But one has to reach the universe of jhana,
No.
our source, our home, and the next natural step, the divine wholeness, tapa, reality manifested, to merge and become one.
Right.
We do not here intend. I'm sorry, I'll have to take this call. My mother is calling.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. No worry.
Should
Yeah.
Himabin or someone read
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
meantime?
Yeah, anyone can read here.
Himabin,
Hmm.
are you there?
Yes,
Would you like to read in the meantime?
yes. We do not here intend to bring in the thought whether the all-knowing Buddha did reach Jana universe and then tapa or remained in Maha region as all-knowing Buddha.
Yeah, we are very sure you did not intend, but we've understood. We've understood.
If we wish to know the what of existence,
Hmm.
then we can be content to remain in Maha, the ring pass not, and remain a Buddha.
Pachu, he brought it up. Poor Buddha. Hmm.
If we wish to know the why of existence, we must go beyond Maha region into creation.
Into creation. Then we are existence. The existence is within us.
Then the why of existence cannot be known unless and until we step inside creation. And it cannot be known if we take aid of things, however majestic, that have their source and worth in existence.
Right. So this is very important. Knowing through the aid of some instrument and knowing just as the pure, the nature of consciousness itself is knowing, right? And that the two different kinds of knowing, right? So one is recording through the mind and knowing something, and one is knowing just because of it's it is a part of consciousness, right? So within consciousness is the aspect of knowing. That knowing is different, where it has to be beyond mahakal. It cannot be on this side of mahakal, right? It's so we call this a swayambhu, the swayambhu ling which we worship, right? The knowing, because the knowing is within. There is no object of knowing. There is no memory of knowing or anything, instrument of knowing.
It is the characteristic of the consciousness
Yeah,
to know.
it is inbuilt in consciousness. Inbuilt in consciousness.
Is it mindfulness?
We are talking of this all going beyond the mind, and you are bringing the mind in. Like, yeah. Mindfulness is a waste of time. Yeah, forget. No.
At this stage, it is appropriate to quote from the Gita.
Huh.
Lord Krishna says in chapter 2, why thy reason has crossed the entanglements of illusion,
When thy reason
when thy reason,
has
when
crossed
thy
the
reason,
entanglements of illusion,
then shalt thou become indifferent both to the philosophies thou hast heard and to those thou mayest yet hear.
right? So when there's Gurdjieff calls this the progression of reason, and the reason progresses from understanding to what do you call discrimination to knowing, just pure knowing, right? So that pure knowing he calls as prajna. Pure knowing Patanjali calls as prajna, and it is not knowing through any instrument, not knowing with the help of memory. It is just a direct knowing because you and that are one. You have become one with that, right? So it is as if it is Swayambhu. You don't know that thing as an object, but you know that thing because you are that thing. It is a part of yourself, right? And that is a different kind of knowing. So when our reason, that basic what you call progression of reason, has crossed over the river of entanglements and illusion, right? When reasoning has crossed over that, then opens the what you call gates of prajna. And once the gates of prajna open, then you know, because not because that thing is separate from you. There is no division in the mind between subject and object. You know because subject and object are one within. And that knowing. I don't know if there's any better way of explaining this. Yeah.
When the intellect, bewildered by the multiplicity of holy scripts, stands unperturbed in blissful contemplation of the infinite, the divine fragment, then hast thou attained spirituality.
Right. So you have to come to a state where there is contemplation of the infinite. And because of that, that is the divine fragment. And because of that, you are wondering why there are so many religions and why there are so many scripts and why there are so many explanations and why there are so many paths and all that. It was so simple that what was the need for all this nonsense, right? And so at that point where you experience the divine fragment, suddenly you'll see what was the purpose in having all these religions and all these explanations and all these pathways and everything. It was so simple. We did not need only. That is real spirituality. I think we'll stop over here. Huh? Right?
It all seems in illusion.
Huh?
All these things seems illusion.
Not illusion. He is bewildered.
Bewildered.
He's bewildered. He's shocked. He's wondering what was the need for all this nonsense. Right?
This is so simple and clear.
It is so simple, right? And but that bewilderment must come. Just now, we keep on studying all this nonsense. Nonsense means nonsense. Huh?
Not related to senses.
Nonsense. Nonsense. Right? Any questions anyone wants to ask? Huh? No, Bindu and Sahasrara are different chakras. Sahasrara is like a what you call modem, and Bindu is where the electricity which enlightens everything lies. Bolo.
We've spoken about different types of knowing in the course of this book. So one knowing was the knowing of the manas or mind, which takes the shape or form of the
but
object.
Before the manas or mind can take the form of the object, there is a division in the mind of subject or knower and the known, and the process of knowing which goes on between the two. Whilst beyond that division in the mind, right, then there is no mind over there. Right? Beyond that, because this is the quality of the mind. The mind will always divide itself into two. One is the knowing part and one is the known part. Right? But once consciousness transcends the mind, it goes beyond the mind, then there is no mind to divide itself into two. Then whatever is known is in consciousness only, as a part of consciousness. That Aham Brahmasmi, because I am the Brahman, everything is within me, and that is why I know it. And that is something like that.
And any practices to, let's say, practice this type of knowing?
No, forget it just now. All practices are in dissolving the mind. That kind of knowing is already there. You can ask Varun. He lives in this kind of knowing.
That is objective consciousness, no? Beyond mind.
Objective, yes, objective consciousness.
Can you repeat that line? Ask Varun.
Yeah, Varun, to know he does not have to use the mind. He lives beyond the mind.
Wow, that would be an achievement.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, he'll wear a red ring and he'll see green colors in the mind, and green colors will cause itching in his left toe, right? And that left toe will give heat over there, and it'll open the right part of the mind, which will be seeing things, and all this will be happening together within him.
But that is all the mind.
Huh?
That is all the mind.
The very fact that you know it is the mind. Bolo. Anything else?
There should be a simple way of reaching there.
Huh?
There should be a very simple way of reaching there. The simple way is the 3-step rhythm.
3-step rhythmic breathing. Even simpler than that is the prism exercise. The simplest way of reaching there, because once you're through on that side of the prism, there is no mind. On this side of the prism is mind. So once you penetrate the prism and go on that side, there is no mind beyond that. Right.
Varun is telling you about 3-step rhythmic breathing, Rajan.
Huh? What?
Varun is telling you about 3-step rhythmic breathing.
We are talking as a group. Yeah.
I learn a lot from Varun. What do you know? You should read his messages here. All his messages come from beyond Mahakal. It is only us poor people who are on this side of Mahakal.
I know.
Bolo. Okay, we'll meet next week.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank